Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me. Over. Hello, hello. Please confirm if you can hear me. Hello, hello. Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Trust you very well. Apologies for the late um start or the late comments of this particular session. We are trying to wait for others that will join the session because we're expecting more people to join in the session. If you can hear me, you can just give a reaction or you just go to the comment box and just type, yes, you can hear me. I would love your response, please.
Hi, Star. I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary. Good afternoon. It's so good for you to join us. All right. I can see reactions coming in. I can see reactions coming in. Thank you so much, everybody. I believe Thursday is always a weekday, and it's not easy to take. I mean, on our 30 minutes, here live in Adam. Please do what go to the comment section. We'd love to know the demographics of our audience. Where are you joining us from? And of course, what do you hope to gain from this session? I'm joining from Ibadan. I'm joining from Lagos. I'm joining from even outside of Nigeria. Wherever you're joining us from, just go to the comment section. Let's do some sort of icebreaker. Go to the comment section and then you put in where you are joining us from. I would appreciate that. Why that is going on, of course, yeah, my name is Esther. Once again, probably you might have seen that anywhere around the screen, and I'll be your moderator for today. And then here with me, the person whom We are, the reason why we are here, Mary, and Mary happens to be a product designer based here in Ibadan, Oyo State, with years of experience in creating user-focused digital experiences, and her expertise includes UI UX design, graphics branding, UX audit, and no-code implementation using tools like Figma, Webflow, Framer, Adobe XD, Illustrator, and Photoshop. Interesting. So, in case you've heard about these tools and you want to learn more about it, or probably okay, I've heard what exactly is this tools all about? This is the reason why we are here. So, I'm not really into UI UX, but I really want to know why, what it is all about. I do see it all over the place. Of course, I'm here to tell you that you're in the right place at the right time. So, Mary is going to take us on a deep dive into what it's called. I'm still connected. Oh my God. I'm trying to avoid noise. Sorry, hi Mary. We have quite a lot of turbulences around us in terms of environmental noises. Please confirm if you can still hear me loud and clear.
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right, thank you so much, Mary. Once again, I apologize to you. I apologize to everyone that is joining this call. I mean, we are in Nigeria and we have quite a number of challenges that we have to kind of find a way around it. So I was in the midst of introducing Mary, who Mary is and why we are here. So I mentioned Mary is deeply committed to community growth. She has mentored aspiring designers and tech professionals, many of whom now work successfully across tech roles in Nigeria and beyond. Our mentorship emphasizing practical skill building, career guidance, and navigating the real world demands of product design. So you want to break into tech, you're interested in product design, you're into UI UX, you want to know more, or you are into tech generally and you want to know the role of UI UX, especially in the learning part you are currently in. I want to believe you're at the right place and at the right time. Without further ado, Mary, I'll just hand the mic over to you and let's just move straight into what you have for us. Over to you, Mary.
All right. Thank you, Esther, for the wonderful introduction. So thank you so much. It's good to be here. And I want to thank everyone for joining the call today. So just like Esther said, my name is Mary, a UI UX expert, and I'm going to be putting us through the topic which says building with the users in mind, UI UX as the blueprint for web design. All right. So before we dive into the topic, what we want to talk about is what is UI UX really for people that just for the first time they've heard about UI UX, and for people that they've heard about it but they don't really know the meaning or what it entails. So firstly, what you want to know is that UI UX are two words combined together. All right. So the UI there means user interface. So Esther, do I need to on my camera or share my screen or something? Can you hear me before I move further?
Yes, you can. Of course you can. You can do that as well.
All right. Okay. Let me see if I can share my screen. Picture, change picture, enter full screen. Okay, that's not it. So how do I go about sharing my screen? Is this full screen?
Okay. You should see a share arrow just right after your mute and unmute button.
Okay, I'm seeing a video, a Q&A. Let me see. Then I'm seeing a 3 dots, settings. Okay. Oh, I can see that now. I can see that now. So let me just share my entire screen. Thank you. You can launch picture to picture mode. I don't know what this is. Let me just cancel it for now. But can you see my screen?
Yes, Mary.
Hello,
Yes,
guys.
ma'am.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. So I just want you guys to have a pictorial view of what I'm saying so that you grab, right? So what I was saying before is that UI UX are two words that becomes one, right? Just like brothers and sisters. So the UI is one word, the UX is another word. And what is UI UX, right? So the UI, which means user interface, is just what we see on a website or a mobile app or any digital products. It's just what we see. And what we see are the colors, the font, the layout, and all the animation, the paparazzi on the look, right? Why the UX? There are things that we cannot see, but we can experience it, things that we feel about a digital product. For example, now, when you log into, I'm going to be using real life products, for example, right? When you log into PalmPay or OPay now, when you log into the app, the first thing you see is login button, and then you go straight to the home page, and it's very fast. Like from the login button, that's if you already sign up, you log in, you move straight to the home page. Why in some products, you log in, you get OTP before you get to the home page. So it's just like more like the experience. Oh, OPay is faster. PalmPay is faster. Why this product is not fast? So those are the experiences that makes up UX. That's why they call it user experience. What you experience, is that experience good or bad? That is what we want to talk about here. So diving to our topic, which is the blueprint. UI UX design has a blueprint for web design, right? So what does it mean, and what does this entail? So blueprint is just like a metaphor. It's just English we are using there. But what this entails is more like UI UX is the foundation for any digital product. Please, when I say digital products, I'm referring to a mobile app, web app, your iOS watch that you're using, is also a digital product. So anything that you see online, right? So UI UX is more like the foundation for it. Then as a blueprint, you want to talk about UI UX as a strategic planning tool, and you want to talk about UI UX reduces risks, and you want to talk about the layout. UI UX guide the layout of your website and functionality. Those are the things I listed here. So when you hear UI UX is a blueprint, it means that it lays a structural and functional groundwork for building a digital experience. Just like someone that is an architect, we need to draw the plan of a house before giving to the builder. In fact, the architect there is a UI UX designer. You give us the layout, we see the outcome before the real product comes to life. right? So for it to be a blueprint, it means it's like the foundation. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. If that stage is skipped, it means that, oh, the house is not properly built, and we didn't have the house is not fine, and you guys did not do it well, something like that. Okay, so that is why UI UX right now is a core skill, and it's very important in having a successful product in your businesses. All right, moving on. So I said, yeah, user first always, right? So being a UI UX designer, right, you might want to consider the fact that you are building for real people, like human beings. You understand? You are not just making things out of assumptions, right? You want to know the real problems of the users before you start building. Okay, for example, now you want to build a e-commerce product now, and you are building a e-commerce product for people in Ibadan. Now, have you done a visibility report or user research that, oh, the people of Ibadan need e-commerce products? Which area would they need an e-commerce product? Do you understand? Instead of just assuming that, oh, let me just build this product, let me show it out to the people of Ibadan, they will start using it. No, it will fail. It will fail. You just spend your time, your money, your energy, and you build a product. You now go to App Store. You now see that it has only 2 download, 3 download or something. People will not use it because it's not really solving their problem. So before building a product, you need to consider, who are you building the product for? What are the problems of these people? How are you going to solve them? That's when they said user first always. Think about your user first always, right? Okay. Let me just confirm. Please, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
All right.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you so much. So next slide. Now, how do you build for user first? Now, in UI UX, there are processes in which you need to consider before building for before considering building for the users, right? Just like I said in the previous slide, right? So this process, they are LIMP UX process, design thinking, double diamond process. Now, these processes falls around you discovering the problem of the user, the goal, like more like you want to develop a user personas of what the issue of that user is and how will your app help them. If you have a software development company, if for example now in Ibadan, have you done a visibility report that, oh, I want my company to be a software development company that will be building products for customers alone, or I want my company to be a product-based company. We want to have our own products and be selling our services so that we'll be making money. So things like that. You want to know your users. You want to know what frustrates them, their goal, what they like, what they think, what they do, and you want to also, yeah. So on that stage is you defining the problem. You come to your table, you iterate on them. Now, okay, which problem is the highest priority for us to look at? Because if we tackle this problem will bring us more money. This problem we actually bring solution to a lot of people. So all those things boils around UI UX design processes. So it's not a process you can jump. Even though as a person who is let me just say you just started in UI UX design as a career, or maybe you've started already and you have a gig from a client that, please, I want you to help me to develop this app within 3 months. You as a UI UX designer there, you cannot skip this process, right? You might want to consider lean process. You might want to, most times when I have a gig to run for a client, because design thinking process is the most popular process and it's very long. I most times use double diamond because it just involves 4 stage. I'll just do my research, competitor audits, and I iterate on it and I start designing just to be fast with what I want to do because I need to deliver based on the timeline, right? But then this process, I don't skip them because when I skip them, I end up coming back to the design like many times that, oh, that's when the client will tell you that, and Jumia did it like this. Can we do our own like this? You understand? But if at the beginning you already tell the client that, sir, Oma, I'm using Jumia, I'm using Alibaba, I'm using Temu as our competitors. This is what they have here. This is what they have here. This is what we want to introduce. So the client already know that they are bringing a value to the table, that you've taken your time to do research and you are giving him something he will use to beat his competitor. So, I mean, that's something. So you can't skip this process, right? Because you want to rush to maybe collect money or something. No, this process is like a bedrock. It's like a bedrock for every digital product you are seeing out there. All right, that's why I'm actually dwelling on this. So every UI UX designer should adopt a UI UX design process. You necessarily don't need to know everything here. You might just pick one that works for you, but just follow it accordingly. All right, moving on. Okay, so now for those of us that don't like following processes, that just want to jump to the answer, there's something called bad UX and there's something called good UX, right? So the good UX are people like me that follow the design process, right? So why the bad UX is those ones that want to do to the answers, and they will now come back and come and be adjusting what is not, right? So let's look at bad UX first. Now, bad UX, a certain percentage of users will not even come back to that website or mobile app that you built, because one, they have a bad user experience there. Another thing might be the look and feel of the website is not good. Another thing might be, when I say even bad experience, they will click on sign up button. It will take 5 years before the button responds. That's the bad UX. And maybe they want to check out you. Okay, let me even give an example of bad UX. I don't want to call it bad UX, sorry, because I want to call the product name. So what's the name of this product? Is a e-commerce product. I was trying to buy something online. It's not Jumia, it's the other one using pink color. I've forgotten their name. So around 2023, I was trying to like, okay, let me compare prices with them. I wanted to use Jumia. I was like, okay, fine, let me buy from them because their own is cheaper when I compare the prices. So I was about to check out after I've taken my time to do research on what I want to buy. I've added to cart and everything. Oh yeah, let me check out. Checkout took me to WhatsApp to chat with someone. I mean, the process was long. Despite the product was cheap in their sites, the process was long. And I was talking to the customer service. The person was not responding on time. So I just like, oh, let me just go and buy what I want to buy from Jumia, because their checkout was just straightforward. I mean, just 1 or 2 clicks, you are done. If you want to do pickup, do pickup. If you want to do delivery on doorstep, it's very straightforward. I mean, so that's an example of bad UX. When you want to achieve a particular flow or a goal or a feature or a functionality, you have to be clicking many screens before you get, I mean, and another app, we just have 2 clicks, you've achieved what you want to achieve. Which one will you follow? I'll go and buy the one that is expensive and, I mean, get the headache out of my head. So, and you know that till now, I've not explored that app. I've not explored it. So that's, sorry, is anybody talking?
It was a big, big world, but we thought we were bigger, pushing each other to the
Okay.
limits. We were learning quicker.
Sorry, can you mute? Sorry, not you, Siri. Okay, so another example of bad UX is that 70% of businesses fail because of poor usability. Very good. Now, because of people like me, users like me, that doesn't like frustration when I want to use your product to achieve a particular thing, I will not go back to it. I will not go back to it. And once I don't go back to it, 100 of me did not go back to it. The business will not make money. And when business don't make money, how do you expect them to prosper? They will fail because the CEO will not, for some period of time, might be using his money to pay staff and support the business. But how long can he keep to that? So businesses fail due to poor usability. When people don't use the product, it will fail. That's why you see that people do a lot of marketing when they bring out new product, because user needs to use it. When they use it, they fall in love with it. Monetization comes in, the company start making money. Do you understand me? Right? So another thing is you lose trust, time, and revenue, which is what I'm actually saying. You lose trust in that product, time, and your revenue and money, right? People don't want to waste time even trying it again. Like, this is 2025. When I tried to buy that stuff, then was 2023. Till now, I've not exploded, and I've been buying things from Jumia since then. All right. So let's talk about good US in businesses. You stay longer, conversion rate goes up, right? Support costs go down, and trust increases. Yeah, and good US in summary makes money for your businesses, right? Okay, so you get more users. In fact, you will not be the one doing the marketing again. It's users that will be doing marketing for you. Who told those market women about OPay? In fact, it's people like me that will say, do you have OPay? Oh yeah, let's do the transfer. In fact, the word just went round and everybody started using OPay, PalmPay, when our commercial banks in Nigeria were not even working. Until now, people are still using OPay. And I can tell you for free that OPay makes over 50 million per day from users, one naira, and they have over 50 million users. They make 50 million. So when you see OPay will tell you that transfer for free, it doesn't even do them anything because they are making their money. Why? They have a good UI UX, which is good interface and good experience. So what do you expect from a product like that? They will keep on making money. Do you understand me? All right. So let me move to the next slide. So design with purpose. So this is an example of a product in which I did, which is still in development. Now, for you to design with purpose, you need to have a clear idea of what you want to do, what you want to bring out, clear navigation, scannable content. The product you are doing, if it's a website, needs to be responsive in all devices. I mean, your mobile, your tablet, and the laptop. Because even in Nigeria here, most of our secondary school, majority uses mobile devices, right? So your product needs to be responsive throughout, right? And accessibility for all. The product you are building, can a person who has a color blindness use it? Do you understand? Can a person who has is it short-sighted person? Yeah. Can the person use it? Are you using a font that when someone sees a G, they will think is 9? Or when someone sees is he a F, they will think is, I don't know, there's another letter that is very confusing, right? So all those things is what you consider when you are looking at accessibility. Okay, the people that you are building for, are they literate? Do they need to have a screen reader on the, do you need to have a screen reader on the product so that when they cannot read, they can just play the screen reader and the whole thing will be reading for them instead of them struggling to read? So those are the things that you need to consider when you are designing, right? So that if this is not working for some people, this will work for everybody. Do you understand me? All right, you need to make your design inclusive for everybody so that your product will not be limited to some people. And this is an example of a product here. Very clear navigation. You have your continue with your login, continue with Google. If you're not using a Google account, you just sign in. If you don't have an account, you sign up. When you forget your password, you just press on the forgot password button, right? So very clear content, and the font is very clear for everybody to use. Okay, so I also put on some example of mobile apps here. These are example of mobile apps, and also a landing page website, right? So it needs, for every section in a landing page that you are creating, needs to speak the purpose of what you are designing for. Don't just assume that, oh, I saw it in this website like this, let's put it in our own. No, what you are putting in your own, does it solve the solution? That is what you should consider before packing things into your website, right? Okay. All right. So real life wins. Now, how will you feel when you make a redesign of a product? For example, a product that people don't use because they struggle to achieve a particular feature on the product. And as a UI UX designer, you are contracted to come and help them solve the solution. And you did a competitors audit, a UX audit, and you discovered that, oh, people are having problem with your checkout though, like the e-commerce app that I told you guys about. They were really having big problem with that checkout. That's why I left the app. Now you come and redesign the checkout that, oh, once you add to cart, just press checkout and go and pay and you are done. All the onboarding flow, you reduce the drop off, or the you made the mobile app to be very, very responsive. And you see that people, these little changes in which that you made will bring good outcome for the company. For example, now the one I was talking about, the e-commerce app that I was talking about, if I had reached out to the customer care service, that okay, there's even one, this one is a finance app that I actually told the customer service person that, okay, your app, I struggle to sign up. In fact, the admin, when I called them, they were the one that actually helped me to sign up when I actually emailed them my IDs and everything. So they helped me to do that. What did they not do? When I complained, when the customer service person called me, I complained about the whole experience. So she was like, a scale to 1 to 10, and will I recommend? I said, not yet. I will not yet. But I see that you people have redesigned your mobile app. It's an investment app. So I saw that people have redesigned it. So, but don't worry. I want to refer someone, a sister of mine, to start investing on it. If she has a seamless sign up, I will rate you guys. If not, I will not. So she promised me that this redesign factored out all those problems in which I'm talking about. Really. So I went to check it and everything was good. And she was like, I should not worry, that she's going to call me by the end of July, which is even today, for me to talk about my experience so far after the redesign. So those are the little changes businesses mix just for them to have a good outcome from their customer. So that's why you see that all these customer service people, they will call you on phone nowadays that, how do you feel about our product? Are you having issue? Blah, 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 like that. So they want to know where you're having issue so that they go and fix it. Because all these small changes is what is bringing money to the company. So it's very important that they get those feedbacks from us, the users, Do you understand? So it's very important. So that's why you used to see all these customer service people calling, right? Because they want to make money and they don't want you to leave their product because of one tiny thing that their developer or their designer can help them to fix. So that is it about that. Okay, so for a UI UX designer, what are the tools you can use to achieve all the long story that I've been talking about, right? Number one tool is the Figma tool. Is free. So this is where the design is taking place. Then we have Notion. Notion is what you use for documentation. You use it, it's free also. You use it for your competitor audits and everything. Then the users, which is people like me, very, very important for you to understand people like me. That's the human beings in general. You understand us, you know our problems, solution, our goals, and what we want to see in your products. So those are the tools you need to build a good UX product. There's alternative to Figma, Notion. People use different tools, but this Figma here is free. Notion 2 is free. There are also other tools you can use for design, all right? So we are not limited to this. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, so final takeaway. So I said here that when you build with the user in mind, you are not just designing interface, you are designing trust, loyalty, and results. Yes, because you know their problem, you know what they want you to build. All right. So recently there's this app that I was building, and the man was like, okay, can we add this feature that is a health app, more like a job health app or like that. So it was like, can we add this feature whereby we can add doctors to the app so people can communicate with doctor in the app. So I told him it's a good features. Most of the Nigeria HMO app or website, they have those features whereby doctors will go and sign in. But however, that feature will not work in your app because you know about it, you like it. It will not work in your app in this first MVP because that's not the problem that you are trying to. So that's not the goal of this product at first. Yes, products are scalable. You had things in the future, but for now, you've not even achieved the purpose of this product. You want to add what is not there. So I told him it's not necessary yet. So let's focus on what we want to achieve first. Send it out for people to do testing, better testing. Then when we get the feedback, work on those feedback, then we'll know what some user wants. They want us to add doctors to the app, things like that. We'll collect feedback, not just building on, hey, I saw this, Mary, I saw this feature in this way, let's add it in now. No, it doesn't work like that. So that's what I told him, and he was like, wow, that's fine, it's cool by it, actually. So now, please do not forget that collaboration is key, right? Designers are not the only one that build the product though. So you don't come and kill us. It involves developers. When I say developers, I mean the front-end developers, the back-end QA, that's the quality assurance people, product managers, the stakeholders, the owner of the product, like that. So, and even the users too, that's the people we do not know, right? They are all part of the umbrella of this blueprint that we are talking about. They are all part of a successful product. And this is where I will be ending my slide. So if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or send me an email. Thank you very much, guys. So I'm done.
Thank you so much, Riri. That was a very insightful, concise session. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, sure, loud and clear.
All right. I love the key takeaway that you mentioned. That when you build with the user in mind, you are not just designing interfaces, you are designing trust, loyalty, and results. And I believe it's not just applicable to UI UX design. As much as you're in tech, you are not just designing, you are not just developing, you are not just marketing products, But then if you have the user in mind, you are designing trust, loyalty, and results. Thank you so much, Mary. I believe this is where we ask questions. If you have any question, you can just make use of the Q&A session. You drop a question. I believe Mary is still much around to do justice to the question. If you have any question, let's do your question. You can just raise your hands. I believe there is a reaction button where you can raise hand and then ask whatever question you want to ask. I'll just give us a minute or two to be able to gather a thought and then you ask your questions. Please, concise question. You don't need to give us long story or background story as much as possible. Make it concise, make it short, straight to the point. And then, yeah, we have Mary. In the meantime, while we are trying to gather our thoughts, yeah, this is also a call for a bootcamp that is starting in Best Technologies. My colleague will be dropping a link soon where you can just take a look at. All right, where you can just take a look at the courses that we have available, and then you can just choose any courses you have. But yeah, that is a long-term program, and then we are currently launching our pilot program, which we run for 6 weeks. You can just go to our website, besttechnologies.com/training, besttechnologieslimited.com/training. Yes, you take a look at the courses that we have on, and then yes, you register for our courses. You can just reach, or you can just click on any of the CTA that you have on the website, register now, or contact us, and then we'll readily answer your question, and then get it sorted as soon as possible. A question just dropped in. I think it was mentioned, but I believe probably the person missed the session, or maybe just want you to reiterate, Mary. I don't know if you are here. The person is asking if there is a clear difference between UI and UX, and if probably there's a way to maybe like differentiate it, or if it can be removed from each other or something. I believe you mentioned it, probably a summary way to just wrap it up. Can you? Mary, can you just signify just to with us, please? There is a question or grant that we need to the audience. The person is asking. I said probably the person missed it at some point because I'm sure you
Okay.
mentioned it at the beginning. The person is asking a clear difference between UI and UX, and if it's possible for it to be separated from each other.
All right. Thank you for that question. So
All
that's
right.
a very good one, but no, it cannot be separated from each other because fine, there are two words, but then they work in line with each other. They marry each other, right? So just like I said, UI is just the look and UX is just what you feel, right? So, but UI UX is the look and feel a user has towards a digital product. So you can't have a good UI with a bad UX. No, people will run away. So they cannot be separated. They cannot be separated. They need to work in line together.
All right, thank you so much. More questions are dropping in. I believe we'll do justice to the question as soon as I spell it out. Another question is, how important is coding knowledge? For example, HTML/CSS/JS for a UI UX designer. I go again. How important is coding knowledge for a UI UX designer? Did you get that question?
Okay. Coding experience, right?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
sometimes I might want to say it's important, but not like in deep coding per se, not like the JavaScript or thing or that kind of stuff. It might just be HTML, CSS, or Bootstrap. But what I want to bring out from there is that it's important because so that you will not come and bring some things into the landing page or a mobile app that are not relevant, or you just saw something out there and you put some things that are not even codable. So if you have an idea of a little coding experience, and you see a chart that you want to implement on the UI, right? So you might want to talk to the developer that, okay, is this possible for us to have? Or if you have that knowledge before, you will know that, okay, no, this one is not possible for us to put this. It will not work here. So a little coding experience is good. That's why you see that in our job stuff, the HR post out there today, you will see a UI UX with little of HTML or CSS experience. They know what they are talking about. They don't want you to just be packing things into their website. So that is the reason why. So a little is fine, not necessarily the JavaScript, okay?
Okay, a little knowledge is fine, not necessarily with JavaScript. I get that. Thank you so much, really. We have more questions. But before we go to the next question, I'd like to do like a sort of heartbreak for those that are asking about the bootcamp. So here is an interface of what the website looks like. Recently, URL besttechnologiesLimited.com/training then slash bootcamp. This is where you have an insight into what bootcamp we have in the platform at Best Technologies. We have for full stack web development, growth marketing, front-end development, back-end development, UI UX design, mobile app development, data analysis, cloud and DevOps. We have AI and machine learning, data science, and cyber security. So these are the bootcamp we have. And like I said earlier, we are currently running a pilot program. So if you click on any of these, there is going to be a pop-up of the pilot training, which runs for 6 weeks. And for you to be in this bootcamp, that means you have, a lot of benefits. There is a discount for you. So what you just have to do is just to make use of this particular bootcamp, register for any of the bootcamp, and of course, we'll reach out to you with more information. Then back to you, Mary. More questions that we have is, what advice would you give to somebody transitioning into UI UX from another field, like maybe like a product manager that wants to transition? What advice? Just key highlight advice for that kind of a person.
Okay, so I feel like it's good. You're already a product manager, you know what a product document entails. So it's just for you to bring it to life. So it's good. It's just an added skill. So please go ahead.
All right, thank you. More questions are dropping in. I guess we can just give just short insights all of them. Another person is asking, as a UI UX designer, I believe the person already has previous experience. How do I structure my UI UX portfolio to stand out to hiring managers or clients? You get that?
Okay. Yeah, I do. So right now there is no code tool that is very easy right now, which is Framer. It's more like Figma already, right? So you can look at it, you can look into it, and I can recommend a lady I do use. I'll just drop it on the chat section. So she taught me how to use Framer. She's very good, and that was where I was able to learn Framer from. So Framer is a good tool.
All right, you mentioned Framer as one of like a tool we can use to design our UX portfolio. I'm reiterating what you said for those that want to catch that again.
All right, so there's Framer, there's Webflow. Okay. So I use both Framer and Webflow. So there's also Wix, there's Squarespace. All right. So Framer has a big community whereby if you have an issue, you can just quickly reach out to someone. That's why I actually recommended Framer. Right.
All right. Thank you so much. I want to believe the person that asked the question already get that. Another question on our table is, how does one balance stakeholder request with user needs during design, that there won't be conflict at all? UI UX design is a professional year, and you know how demanding stakeholders can be. So how can one balance that request from them?
Thank you so much. That has always been a big problem in development. So to balance that, they need to be product document, and we need to follow that product document strictly. That's the only solution to that problem, so that the stakeholders will not come and be telling you, why is this not there? Why is this there? So let's focus on product document and use it in our development. So that will solve the problem.
To reiterate what you said, you made mention of documentation, especially before you start a project, to document what you think your stakeholders need. You submit it to your stakeholder for them to affirm that this is what they want. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary. Oh my God, more questions are coming in. Somebody is asking, person is confused. What's the difference between UI UX design and website designer? Is that they both design website products or fun, but I'm still confused. A UI UX design and a website designer.
Okay, so for UI UX design is a static design which you just do on maybe Figma or Adobe SD and you share with developers. But for website designer, they can be a WordPress designer, a no-code designer, where they bring out the design live for you. So I feel like there's a difference between that, right? So UI UX focus on a static design, while website designer focus on user what will I call it now? What's the word for it now? Design that is live, more like WordPress. You build on WordPress is live. You use no code tools to build your design that is live. So that's where website design is focused on.
All right, thank you so much. UI UX design is less static because it's built on Figma, while website designer they build live designs. Thank you. Another person that seems to be in a dilemma of confusion is asking this time difference between UI UX and a front-end developer. In fact, the person had more context that he used to hear that they used to fight often, and I mean, in what way can resolution be made when there is kind of arguments between a UI UX designer and front-end developers?
Okay, so I've worked with a lot of the developers and I can say that I've not had issue with them, but then we've had disagreement on design, right? You cannot escape that. All right. So, but what I do is I seem to know what are you presenting? Let me see where you got that from. And I use it to compare what I did. And I go ahead to tell you that this is better. So there is no pride sticking to your own idea alone. No, I'm open for feedback. You have to be open for feedback, right? You have to allow yourselves other people's ideas. So I've worked with developers whereby what I did, they will bring something that is even better. And I'll be like, oh, this is better. Let's implement this. And you are good to go. You don't need to fight. You are good to go. You don't need to fight. So that is it.
Okay. The summary of what you said is be flexible with whatever ideas you have. Be open to welcome any other idea, especially from the front-end developer. Thank you so much for the input. Two more questions. This person is wondering, are there any major setback that you have experienced and you would love to share from us so that we can learn from you and probably things we can avoid in the course of our journey as a UI UX designer?
Okay, major setback. Okay. So the major setback I had that turned out to be a good news to me is what I can just share. Okay, I collaborated with a product designer on a particular product, a fintech product, and the product manager, the product owner was like, wow, this is good, this is good, this is nice. She ended up presenting it to the stakeholders and they have one or two questions, issues with the design. And she came back to us like, your designs are bad. You understand? She just came to come and bash us, right? So they have to give the design to another set of team. So just like 2 days ago, the set of team have been building this design for over 4 months now. And they just came back to us just yesterday that they will need me and the fellow designer to come back to the product. Let's go back to our design. That what we did was better, and they've wasted money and time, and it's a good news to me. And I was happy but angry at the same time, Sha. But then it's a good news. So that is it for me. I don't know, maybe with clients too.
Okay.
But just go ahead.
No, like, I actually want to pick out like a sort of the wonderful story you shared with us. Like, know your value, know what you bring to the table. Because even when the feedback was very harsh, at least I don't think at any point you might feel bad because of the feedback, but it doesn't reduce what you have and what you bring to the table. Just know the quality that you bring to the table and maintain that quality so that at least even when they go outside, they are going to compare and see there's a difference. I believe I mentioned, I said your mind. All right, one last question. I believe we've mentioned it in the course of the class, but maybe a way to reiterate. He said, what are the major core things I need to know before venturing into UI UX?
Major courses. Okay, for me, I will always recommend what's it called now? Coursera. That's Google UI UX design.
Hi, Mary. Core things, not courses. Core things, like major things he or she needs to know before venturing into UI UX.
Okay, core things.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. I don't really think there's.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please. I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I don't really think there is a special or core things you need to know. You just know basic design principles, how to measure colors and all that, and you also be able to listen to feedback and hear other people and listen to other people speak. So those are the major things, because as a UI UX designer, you will go to stakeholders meeting and you need to listen to them and pick out points. And in the design part of it, you need to understand principle of design so that you can give them a good look of their products.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary. I thought that was the last question, but more questions came in. Apologies, Mary. We might need to snitch a few minutes of your time again, because this seems to be an interesting question. The question is asking, why do modern websites always have so much empty spaces? Are we saving space for something?
Okay, so
Right.
those are called white spaces, all right?
Mhm.
So modern website now, we want to make it look minimalistic and simple and clean. That's why you see website nowadays having a lot of white spaces.
Thank you so much. White spaces. Thank you so much, Mary. Oh my God. Okay. I want to believe this is the last question. The person asking the question, we are going to close the Q&A session for now. The person is asking, can good UI save bad UX? Or is it like putting perfume or a trash can? Insightful
Okay,
question.
so can good UI save bad US? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think good UX can save bad UI. Do you understand that?
Good
Good UX
UX can
can
save
save bad
bad.
UI. Yes.
So like a
Yes,
good experience can save like a bad interface.
exactly. Because if you look at our core banking solutions, they are not really beautiful, but it's working. Like our banking solutions are there. If you click on this button, it's going, but it's not fine. Our Nigeria's what's it called now? Okay, let me just leave it there so I will not spoil any products. But what I'm trying to say is that good UX can actually complement bad UI.
Okay, thank you so much. Whew. 3 in 1 question. I don't know. I felt this person is pressed to ask this question. I don't know. Let me just ask this question together so that I just answer it that you go. The person said, why does it feel like every simple hub now needs a tutorial to use? The second question is gray text on white background a secret test to find out who has high problem? Then the last question, is it a design choice when a button doesn't respond, or is it just God's will?
Again, please.
All right, let me just take it one after the other. Why does it feel like every simple app now needs a tutorial before we can use it?
Okay, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think maybe the tutorial the person is referring to is a product tour, which is not bad for business actually.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. I mean, from your own point of view, if a particular product is being launched, it's not really a bad idea if there's a tutorial about how app works, I believe.
Not at all. That's a strategy for marketing also.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing more light to that. The second one is gray text on white background, a secret test to find out who has high problem.
Oh
I guess
no, not really per se. not really per se. People can, what I showed. I think the person is referring to the design I showed, right? But then people use blue. That's a field text, field input field. Some people use blue, some people use yellow. So it depends, but that's not a criteria, all right? That's not a criteria.
All right. And then one of the questions I was asked is if a particular button is not working, probably on a website, like, is it the fault of the designer or who is to take the fault for that?
Yeah, that would be on the between the developers, maybe most especially the back end or the front end. Yes, just between them, not the designer.
Okay, I promise the last question. The person is actually, this one is about icons. I mean, how to pick icons and to make use of icons. So the person was like, he had an experience of a gun icon was used. I mean, like for a bullet point to note point, so a gun icon was used. So what's your own input concerning the use of icons? And I believe that's the last question for today.
Please come again with the question.
So the person is asking concerning maybe there is a special kind of talk about making use of icons, because this person has an experience of the use of gun was used to highlight points. You know, we have different ways to highlight points, but this time around on this particular website, a gun was used to highlight gun. From your own professional point of view, what do you think?
Okay, so if a gun is used to highlight points, you might want to ask yourself, is it a gaming website? So it depends, all right? So the use of icons, it depends, right? If you want to design for a fintech, you want to use fintech icons. If you want to design for a gaming website, you want to be using those guns and all those stuff. So it depends on the kind of website you are designing. That will be based on the icon you use.
Thank you so much. I think I got one or two from the use of icons. It might be a gaming website, or in fact, we have to do like a sort of research on what kind of product or websites we are launching, and then to help us navigate the kind of icons and other things we use. Thank you so much, Mary, for this wonderful session. I mean, we've learned one or two, and I believe the audiences have learned a lot. And for those that are seeking to transition into tech or specifically UI UX, they've learned one or two, and what you've shared today will actually help us in making some choices concerning our career. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining this session. I would like to apologize on behalf of Best Technologies. We are sorry on, the initial creech that we had at the beginning of this call. It happens, but thank God we had a safe landing, and I believe we had one or two to learn throughout. Like I mentioned, we have our pilot bootcamp that is currently launched. So if you want to be a part of it, especially if you are in this call right now. So if you're on this call, you've registered for this call, we are going to reach out to you. Make sure you make use of this opportunity, because for those on this call, there's a discount that is awarded to you. So just keep an eye out on your email. We are going to get across to you on discount, and make sure you make use of the opportunity. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful Thursday, a wonderful weekend. And yes, happy new month in advance. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mary. And do have a wonderful rest of the day.
Okay, thank you.